I must say, we've spent long enough playing house.
I'm sorry?
Miss Furina, as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression, was I wrong? And you haven't a clue?
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontanian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it is being proven true. Yet, here you are relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden. Do you really think that's acceptable? The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster
So
or
she is
save
very
their
serious
own.
about this.
Even the orphans of the House of the Heart
It
have
wasn't even a
devoted
bluff at all. She
everything
would
to
be dead
saving
serious
their
about this.
homeland. But you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjectures.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts right now. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive in a land that will soon disappear beneath the waves?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me. Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my head up high!
Furina's not acting like her usual self. She's actually seriously refuting Nave's accusations. She means what she says. She's not putting on a front.
Then I ask you, Miss Furina, just what have you been working on? Where can we see it, and what is it doing to help?
So was that all a lie? Or can she really not tell us? She was so full of conviction and confidence just now, but now she's deflated just like a pop balloon.
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fated time. It is just that beings like yourselves are unable to perceive them as of yet.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as your emergency response plan for the impending disaster?
An emergency response plan?
Oh, that look in your eyes. Have you not even prepared one of those?
The emergency response plan is also strictly confidential.
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Furina, what is the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
Yeah,
the
good
Oratrice?
point.
It's just like it appears to be.
What is up with the Oratrice?
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Furina.
And who is it?
I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice
who's the
in the Opera
voice?
House. You see,
Wait.
even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium. But even if that had nothing to do with you, Then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro Archon? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Neuvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Furina, I suppose you must have ordered him away to take care of some troublesome business.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it a secret for me.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Furina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex by your side. Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please, help yourselves, everyone.
These aren't topics I can speak about. I don't even know what Neuvillette's task was. If I had to guess, he probably went down to deal with the Surge of Primordial Sea, but can he really deal with it all by itself? And is Furina being truthful or not?
Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard deserve gratitude and praise. You too, Paimon.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that offer. Oh, Paimon's super full. That cake was great.
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality. Yes, and we must thank the knave for bringing these over as well.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Furina's table. And I was merely catering to Miss Furina's tastes, seeking a chance to chat over tea. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so I must take my leave now.
Very well, we'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss Childe before I must be on my way.
Of course.
Paimon's coming too.
Furina?
The tea party turned out to be even more difficult than I'd imagined. Why are you looking at me like that? Is something the matter? If there's nothing urgent, then I shall be retiring for now.
No idea what Furina's planning. Arlecchino's plan is pretty much obvious by now. But I can't figure out what's up with Furina. And there's several things that I need to think about. Who is the voice? And what is up with the origins being so sentient? Is it really the Hydronosis?
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Childe was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
That's what Paimon thought.
What do you want to say?
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude.
I didn't think that's what you want to talk about.
Do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The House of the Hearth is very important to me. You should know that I care deeply about my children.
Since someone will not agree with you, but whatever. Was there nothing else you wanted to say?
That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings.
Really? That's it?
I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still there, and I trust their judgment and abilities.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them, especially Linny.
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Linny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others, including me. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Furina? You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow me to share my perspective with you.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Childe was declared guilty and immediately transported to the Fortress of Meropide.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Furina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
Oh,
Run.
come over
Oh,
here,
whoa.
you little critter, you.
Oh, so that's the mask she wears.
You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Furina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy, it's actually making me a bit suspicious.
And that's what I found
Anything
out.
left unguarded
Oh, whoa.
is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, from the moment it was attached to the hook, the bait is meant to be sacrificed.
Oh,
It's
that's
just
why.
as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the Archon.
It was an
In
assassination
fact,
attempt.
This Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me. I'm begging you.
So it was actually an assassination attempt by Arlecchino.
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Furina dares not mention this incident to anyone. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Furina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to
fountain?
eat her cake. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Iudex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article. I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct,
Yeah,
he
that was my
is probably in
thought as
possession of
well.
it. Alternatively,
It's not a
it
Fortress
might
of
have been
Meropide.
hidden in a place that's
That's
hard
confirmed
for
for me.
ordinary people to access.
So,
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please speak.
News from the Fortress of Meropide. Master Childe has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that Wriothesley.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a Harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to
So
exert
Charles just a means to
diplomatic
an end
pressure
for
on
you.
the Fontaine authorities. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Iudex Neuvillette. Oh, and I have an additional mission for you three.
infiltrate the fortress, right?
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, I can ask for an official audience and continue my investigation
So
of
this will
Furina
people
and
know that you're
Iudex
being
Neuvillette.
two-faced.
The initiative belongs to
How
the House
fitting.
of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the Fortress of Meropide will be a front. Linny and his group will be responsible for the actual intelligence gathering.
So that was your story all along?
You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from you.
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Furina herself is still pretending that nothing of that sort ever happened.
Alright then.
I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Furina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Iudex Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon, but now, that doesn't seem right to me either.
So that means in the trailer when Furina was screaming, "Who are you? What are you trying to do? Please don't kill me, I beg you," with Arlecchino's face up front? That was not even a bait. That was actually exactly what happened. It was an assassination attempt by Arlecchino, which was the initial theory, but then immediately dismissed it, thinking, oh, it's probably just an act by Furina and we were doing a quote-unquote assassination attempt on her. No, it was an actual assassination attempt. Wow. I got hard played. How did you come to that conclusion?
I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Iudex Neuvillette or Furina, neither fits the bill. It's
Then
hard
who's
to
the real
imagine
Hydro
either of them
Archon?
as the Archon.
Is it the Ortress
Of
itself,
course,
or what?
that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require justification. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my birth. Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. It looks like Fontainians will have no choice but to save themselves. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise, I would be happy to cooperate with you. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday.
Neuvillette.
He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll leave you to him.
Then we'll talk later.
Neuvillette, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur. Thank you for protecting Furina.
May we ask what exactly happened down there?
To put it simply, I used my power to force back the Primordial Sea and reseal the sluice gate.
As for what happened on our side, it wasn't pretty.
So as expected, the Knave has turned up the pressure on Furina. She's trying to feel her out, though I'm still unsure as to her motives.
Can I ask you some questions?
Permission granted.
You have enough power to force back the Primordial Sea. Does that mean you have some deeper connection with the Hydro Archon?
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right? But that's just a speculation on our part, though. You can't tell us? Then that's okay. We can talk about something else. We won't try to force you. You guys in Fontaine are super strange.
If by the phrase, you guys, you are referring to Furina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics.
What did you sense in the Fortress of Meripede?
I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and suffering. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
And it's raining again.
Why is it raining all of a sudden?
This is the dead giveaway. The clear sky suddenly filled with dark clouds, and the rain became heavier. Light rain soon growing through the downpour. And just moments before, Neuvillette has just mentioned his sense of grief. Thinking back to the legend, and what Furina said, it's said that a dragon of water once resided in Fontaine. Every time it weeps, the skies will cloud up and pour out rain. Wait, Neuvillette, you can't be...
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
So it's you.
Oh? And what are you thinking?
He's the dragon sovereign of water.
The dragon of... what? Huh?
So it's been you all
Please
along.
do not be so surprised.
I'm not that surprised about that at all. And you knew about that too, right, Furina?
Furina?
Neuvillette!
Wait, well,
Neuvillette, are you listening?
My apologies.
was that two Furinas?
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon sovereign of water, right? Well, if you don't want to confirm or deny...
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret for me.
Your secret is safe with me, Neuvillette.
Right, of course. We'll definitely help you keep it a secret. There's still something Paimon wants to ask you, though.
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you were able to force back the primordial sea from the fortress, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
It's not that simple,
None
Paimon.
of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess our full dragonhood.
You probably all
They
lost
say
it.
that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis of the
Wow.
Archon's authorities.
Authorities, huh?
There are 7 elemental archons and
7
7
magic
matching
dragon sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor,
Oh.
I know far less of that part of our ancient history. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me.
A sacrifice.
Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
Oh, so even you can't solve it.
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding ancient history, you are welcome to discuss them with me at a later time.
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit to the Fortress of Meripede? Paimon is a little worried.
Sure. See you later, Neuvillette.
We'll see you another time.
Take care.
You too. So, the major twist reveal. Neuvillette being the Hydro Dragon Sovereign was foreshadowed for a long time. In Enkanomiya, we learned that the Hydro Dragon Sovereign is the lord of all the baptismal bishops, and we also heard a prophecy that one day he could turn human. In addition, every single moment we saw with Neuvillette that was somber, it was raining. But most notably, that morning scene in Kalos' grave. Not to mention, it is said that by Furina that whenever a trial ends, there's always rain happening. That's Neuvillette crying, because there's nothing more he can do to hide his identity as the Dragon Sovereign of Water. And he can't do anything else, and it was proven again in his demo.
Now guess, what suit will this next card be?
A bare-teeth cat?
Well, well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Hello, everyone.
Looks like you're recovering nicely from an A.
Thanks to everyone's support.
That's good to hear.
Right. I managed to work up the courage to thank Miss Clorand in person.
Good for you.
Whoa, how did she react?
She told me that it was nothing. It was as if saving a life wasn't a big deal to her at all. She also told me not to worry about it.
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all. She's right, and it's best not to dwell on it.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out. We went back to the opera house and we met the knave.
You met Father? Did she say anything to you?
A lot, actually.
She said a few things that were, a bit hard to understand. And also that she's looking forward to working with us in the future.
It was a little surprising.
Her attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. That's fantastic. You should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to help those she considers close, which now might also include you.
Father is very capable, and also trustworthy.
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Lenny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to rely on others sometimes.
Got it.
That does sound like something that Father would say.
Hey!
Are you going to stay here for the next few days?
Looks like it, yeah.
Excellent. I will host a tea party.
For real? Then Paimon wants another serving of cake.
Paimon, you had like how many
Another implies
slices?
that you were already served some delicious cake while you were up there. How lovely. Well, next time, you're going to have tea and snacks with us.
So this really is just building up to us being in a cooperative relationship with the Harbingers in a way, and Arlecchino and Tartaglia are like the first two to, you know, really ally with us. And it'd be strong to have Arlecchino on our side, since she is one of the higher ranking officials, ranked 4th by the way. So, it'd be very useful to have her on our side.
Seedwing! Traveler, Paimon, you're back!
Are you still doing alright? Did either of you get hurt?
Don't worry, you're both doing great.
We're fine, but what about you guys? It was such a huge mess. How bad was it?
A few people sustained superficial injuries, but that's about the extent of the damage. Monsieur Neuvillette paid us a visit. It was all thanks to him that we managed to suppress the crisis for the time being. Of course, we must also thank you for the help you provided.
How did Neuvillette know that he was needed here?
Well, Monsieur Neuvillette has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water
And
level
now we know why.
rises, he can feel the waves produced. I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the injuries of the wounded. They were mumbling the whole time about how you just ran down without a word. I'm so relieved to see that you're both all right. If you're not too pressed for time, please stay with us a few more days. Just let me know if you get a craving for any particular dish, so I can have Mr. Walsey get your meals prepared. Oh, and please feel free to visit the infirmary for a break at any time. I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time observing your facial muscles as well. Your happy smiles are quite contagious, you know. They're so memorable, and I've missed them immensely while you were gone.
I'm assuming Clorin's gonna be here next, right? Or no, oh no, it's just Bombshell Bros. Of course it is. Oh, then I'm assuming it's gonna be Clorin and Real Leslie together.
You guys are back?
Crystal! Macaroon!
You guys didn't get caught and thrown back down here, right?
Huh? No, not at
No,
all.
we just came here on our own accord.
And here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion. I'd held you up as legendary jailbreakers, but now you're telling me you just never left?
I mean, we did, but
We're sorry, but we just had some business to take care of.
All right. There's no need to get caught up in the details. We're just relieved to see you. He was super worried about you, you know.
Hey, it wasn't just me. Weren't you super worried as well?
Something like that, yeah. I was also transferred to work in the kitchen a few days ago. I can still hear Quisto mumbling to the carrots. Are those two all right? Do you think they made it out alive? Whenever he'd say that, I tell them I'm sure they're fine. Wherever they are, they're kicking back with drinks in hand, enjoying the lovely scenery.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with worrying about your prison pals. Is there? I mean, considering how they always love listening to all my gossip.
These two. They sure are a lot warmer and friendlier than when Paimon first met them.
I'm sure their welfare meals must have skyrocketed in quality recently.
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be watching you to make sure you finish every last bite.
Last time it seems gonna be Risley and Clarin. In the lower section. Oh no, it's not. It's Lorraine Jerry.
Jurier? Miss Sijween told me you still haven't eaten.
Yeah, I was working on something, so I forgot.
That's no excuse for... Huh? It's you two.
Jurier, Lumine, we're back!
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently. How have you been?
We're fine, thanks.
And you? Are you still taking the secret passageway from the infirmary to work on the ship?
Yep. That is still top secret, though. So don't say a word to anyone.
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the infirmary, but I still prefer taking that route over the one from the Duke's office.
I mean, the infirmary does make it easier for you to slack off.
Oh yeah? Then why are you also here so much?
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your relationship, aren't you?
Not at all!
I still find that hard to believe. And Risley is the last one. I'm gonna say right now, that scene with Risley freezing the primary water is so badass. He's just punching out like ice waves that's
Do my eyes
that's
deceive
freezing
me,
them.
or did I just see two inmates come back after making it to the surface? Some strange winds blowing of late.
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing. Is everything still alright?
We're fine, for the most part. Neuvillette came down and took care of the worst of it.
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him to stay here?
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the Udex himself to exchange the Courts of Fontaine for a puddle of water in the middle of nowhere.
I don't think that's going to work.
He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea. He did remember to take Miss Sijween's gift with him, though.
Ah.
He sure sounds super busy.
Miss Cloran has left as well. She also took her gift from Miss Sijween.
Were the gifts milkshakes?
Neuvillette got the milkshake. Cloran received lipstick instead.
Those aren't even remotely alike.
Well, it's Neuvillette's own fault for making Sijween worried about his health by working so much. But besides that, our head nurse is still pretty fond of picking out beauty products for the ladies. Oh, and I have some gifts here for you as well.
Are these from Sijween too?
Nope, they're from yours truly. You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time. You haven't yet served your full prison term, however, so you may continue to use your cell until your term is up.
For real? Then we could stay here for a really long time?
Is food still covered?
You may access the cafeteria for free.
Hooray!
Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your release.
Well, it seems things are coming to a close now. But usually there's gonna be like one more cliffhanger that's gonna get me, you know, really excited for the finale, because it seems like things are really just closed up for now. Again, the only thing that's left open-ended is Tartaglia fate, really. Arlecchino, we found out a lot more about Neuvillette. His identity is finally revealed. And the identity and the location of the Hydronosis is still kind of a mystery, but other than that, those are usually like really open-ended stuff that It's not that crazy yet.
Again. We're no longer prisoners though, so it really doesn't feel the same.
It feels like we've gained our freedom.
Mm-hmm. Being free sure feels pretty special now.
Paimon, is there something you'd like to say?
Huh? How did you know?
Because you usually just immediately fall asleep.
Hey, that's not true! Alright. Okay, Paimon just wanted to say that we really are an amazing duo after all. It's like, we've now gone to so many places together and become friends with so many people. We've never stopped traveling or stopped meeting new friends. There are so many bad things in the world, and we're just two people, but we've still been solving problems no matter where we go. Isn't that pretty cool?
We're the best adventurers ever.
You're counting Paimon today? Aren't you the only adventurer here?
Being a guide counts too.
Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventurer handbook as well. Paimon will also be an adventurer from today forward. Just our thoughts making Paimon giddy. Paimon's gonna crash, so you sleep soon too. The last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a whole mess outside our cell. The primordial seawater nearly rose up. That was so scary. We should be safe now, right?
We'll be fine. So don't worry, Paimon.
Alright then. Good night to you, traveler.
Good night to you, Paimon. Childe again? What happened to you? Holy! You are kidding me! You can't do this! What was that ending? Is he back in the abyss? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, so I'm assuming Act 5 or maybe Act 6 has to explain everything. Is this really going to coincide with the Abyss Danes of storyline too? Because that'd be incredible. Wow, I am shocked. I am blown. Well. That was Act 4 and that was the main Fontaine story done. But now... we have Neuvillette's character story to look into. And before I end this off, just want to say this off the bat. Best Archon Quest, easily. It has the most high stakes, some of the most emotional moments, some of the greatest highs, and very little lows. God, and the moments with Risley, Seiju and Eva, and Neuvillette, Chlorine even coming out as a surprise, Arlecchino, and of course the trio of Lineal and Effeminate. This is great. Easily the best act, the best Fontaine quest I've seen by far. My god. Yeah, Act 3 taking it slow definitely was definitely a worthwhile payoff. But yeah, next time we get to know more about him again. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, and give your thoughts about Act 4 and Act 3 actually. How about that? ACairconditioner signing out. Have a good one, guys, and take care.